What you gonna do, brother, when the immortal Chris Benoit runs wild on you? What you gonna do when I lock the crossface in with my 18-inch pythons, brother? Python aggression, brother. Down. Welcome back to Fog Wrestling. Hulk Hogan obviously landed himself in a wee bit of bother almost a decade ago with comments on a sex tape. But Chris Benoit also landed himself in some hot water about 17 years ago. So let's see what is worse, as the immortal Hulk Hogan compared himself to Chris Benoit as he uses him as an example of wrestling fans' forgiveness. Right, this was on Impulsive. Who would have thought this would have been spoken about on a Logan Paul podcast? It's mental. I mean, Logan Paul doesn't even know the terms of the business. He didn't even know what a shoot was or a work. Like, considering the guy can wrestle, this is utterly bizarre at the end of the day. But then, even that, I mean, I doubt Bad Bunny even knows the difference, and he could work better than fucking half the guys today. Half the wee flippy dippy jobber guys. But anyway, before we even dive into the comments, right, I think Hogan's right. Now, there's a lot of people out there, right, that are never going to forgive Benoit for what he did, right? And absolutely right. But see, a lot of people, there are so many people in the IWC, especially internet fans, right? It's obviously petered out the longer we get from 2007. But there's people that want Benoit in the Hall of Fame. See, on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter, there is accounts specifically set up for Chris Benoit to recognise what he did. And there's people, oh, you've heard all the talk about Kevin Sullivan did it. Oh, there was beer bottles, but there wasn't any alcohol in Benoit's system. I mean, he could have just poured them down the drain, Say he's killed his wife and son, right? See, realistically, Chris Benoit, if he had the brain of an 85 Alzheimer's patient, well, what's stopping Benoit for, pouring the drink down the sink? There's no guarantee. Just because it wasn't in his system doesn't mean someone else drank and automatically he didn't do it. But it's like, there is a lot of people out there that have... Maybe it's not as much forgave him. They've never put blame on him to forgive him. They've almost accepted that, yeah, he did that, but it doesn't change the fact that he was a great wrestler. And yeah, can you separate the two? Absolutely, you can. But at the end of the day, Hogan's right. If people are willing to, remember Benoit for his wrestling ability and forgive him and things like that, then why can't he be forgiven? Not everyone's forgave Benoit, and that's not what Hogan said. But he's right. A lot of people have. So, yeah, he was on Impulsive. He revealed a few things about, I've signed a 5-year deal with the company. So let's see here. This is the quote. And I quote, "If Chris Benoit can do the crap he did and the fans still love him, they're very forgiving. I've made some major mistakes in my personal life. They're very, very forgiving. They forgive you, brother." End of quote. So yeah, obviously pointing to the fact, yeah, I said the N-word, Logan. It's the same way Logan Paul, right, went into a forest in Japan and filmed the dead guy, right, and he profited off it and he made views on YouTube. Is that a nice thing for Logan Paul? No. Does that make Logan Paul the worst human being on this planet? No. I even think at the time that got blown completely out of proportion. You know what I mean? It did. Look at America, man. The amount of rappers, right, or ex gangsters, that make money out of the fact they used to be a killer or a hitman, or used to be somebody used to be a gangbanger and they profit via rapping or documentaries. It's all hypocritical shit, and people want to sit here and cry about Logan Paul filming a guy in a forest. Hogan said a bad word. He did. You know what? There's no two ways about it. But does it mean he deserves blacklisted and hate it for the rest of eternity? No. Hogan didn't even do a crime. He said a word, folks. Yeah, it wasn't a nice word at the end of the day. And I'm not telling how people should react to it. But at the end of the day, it's a word. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words would never hurt me. Looking back at Benoit, I think we'd all rather the Benoit called bloody Nancy and his son arsehole crackers or something, than what he actually did. But that's it, man. I think Hogan should be forgiven. He's needed a lot of. He's still the immortal Hulk Hogan at the end of the day. And with Hogan, his endorsement of Trump and things like that. That's obviously just made things worse. Oh, he's on the right. He's racist. Anyway, Chris Benoit was definitely on the wrong side of the law 17 years ago. As for Hogan, it did get blown out of proportion for me. But yeah, we got to learn to forgive, damn it. Got to learn to forgive.